and welcome inside the JRC for the final game of the round robin between the Mountainview Mavericks and the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels. The Mavericks come in at 3-0, already basically having clinched the bye, barring disaster. But the Rebels will come in to this game at 2-1, looking to secure their spot in the playoff round, and it's almost certain they will do so. Now, to start up and tee us up here, I want to talk about number 37, Will Swan of the Mountain View Mavericks. The big goaltender has come into this tournament after posting one of the best series you've seen in Junior B in quite some time, defeating the Chill in 3 games. He only allowed 1 goal in that final third game. He's come into this tournament, allowed 2 in the first game against the CROW, and has followed it up with some strong performances, also holding the Shamrocks down to 1 earlier today. Also on this Maverick team, you're going to have to deal with number 7, Everett Muratori. And he's a guy with plenty of foot speed and very dexterous and has a ton of agility. A guy very good on his feet and is effective in both the offensive and defensive zones. An all-you-can-eat, if you will, player with Everett Muratori of the Mountain View Mavericks. And it's a team that is going to fast break, and Muratori lives up to that name. Now down in the other end, speaking of the Rebels, who will be the Mavericks' opponent tonight, you got number 34, Matthew Vetch. He's the captain of the team, and he's a leader both vocally and in terms of example. And he's a guy that often takes advantage of his chances in transition, very aggressive defensively, and is great on loose balls. A guy that they rely on both, as you can see right now, on the man short and defensively. Matthew Vetch, one of the veterans that leads the Rebels squad. And then offensively, the big leader, number 13, Reed Lowe. He's a guy with great touch inside, terrific hands, and a guy that sees the floor well, both off ball and on ball. He came down halfway through the season after being let go from the Junior A minors, and he provides a great setup man and a great finisher. The dual threat for the Rebels out the front gate. Reed Lowe is a player to watch for here tonight, as these two teams who came in as favorites, along with the Shamrocks, will go head-to-head in a game that features 2 likely playoff teams. That's coming up next on CROW LAX TV. Mavericks, Rebels.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fort Saskatchewan Jubilee Recreation Center for Game 10 of the 2025 Larry Bishop Memorial Cup with your Northern Construction Rebels and the Mountainview Mavericks. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you're able and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
It's the final game of round robin play. Welcome to the Larry Bishop Memorial Cup. Saturday night, Junior Beasts After Dark. What a thriller to follow up on that last game between the Calgary Shamrocks and the Queen City Kings. But we got a pretty solid matchup here as the Mountainview Mavericks take on the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels. It's Cody James and Keenan Kanda with you this evening as we close out the nightcap. 8:20 local time inside the JRC. Fort Saskatchewan wearing their black threads as they have all weekend. The black sheep of the Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League going up against the kids from Innisfil. The Mountainview Mavericks wearing their gold threads. Black trim, gray buckets. A couple notable changes for Fort Saskatchewan. Bowen Carpenter not between the pipes. Not sure if that's rest or injury. They're also going to be without Davin Banjima, Jackson Kohut, Rylan Walsh. So a couple key pieces not in lineup for Black this evening. Ref is ready, ball is down, and we are underway. Game number 10 at the Larry Bishop Memorial Cup. Mountainview gets first possession. Steele up top. Down for Remy Pinchot. Cross floor pass finds Amundsen. Little jump shot on goal. Reed McLeod makes a save, and that's his first of the game.
A nice shot by Amundsen from outside, testing Reed McLeod early in his first look at some action here in the Larry Bishop Memorial Cup.
Reese Walsh, a little spin back move. Dylan Pook's cutting down the middle. Reed Lowe's there as well. He hits low. Lowe trying to go 5-hole on Alex Swan, who denies him.
Yeah, that was a nice little opportunity there. Nifty little play by the Rebels. And Swan, as he has been this entire tournament, stays strong between the pipes.
Yeah, Swan's an absolute stud. He held the Shamrocks to 1 goal earlier today. I don't know the last time the Shamrocks have been held to 1 goal. That's a question for someone smarter than me like Mo Joma. But it has to have been an incredibly long time, if ever. Reed Lowe now on the wheel. He'll zip it across. Dylan Pook has it. Low to low. Swan makes a save.
And Swan, you'll see him often go down, dropping down to make those low saves. And, you know, it seems to be working out for him. He's made a lot of them over the course of the tournament.
Ball on the far side. Mavericks 3-0 in the tournament. Fort Saskatchewan 2-1. Back up top, another low shot there. This one comes out of the stick of Carter Mikluk. Safe meet by goaltender Reed McLeod. Rebound comes right back to the Mavericks, though. Shots 2-2, couple minutes in. Mikluk's up top. He'll control. 6 goals in their Central Division playoffs. Won the final series over the Chill in 3 games. Opportunity in tight. Reed McLeod's got to make a sliding save on Braden Sinclair.
McLeod looking good as he's been tested early in this one, coming over to the Rebels late season in a trade with the Beaumont Outlaws.
Matthew Vetch, captain of this squad. Scored a couple of times earlier as the Rebels took down the St. Albert CROW this afternoon. Second game for them in a span of 6 hours. Jackson Baker, penalty upcoming. Baker now trying to get to the middle, lost the ball for a second, couldn't regain control though, but Fort Saskatchewan's going to the power play.
Mavericks heading to the sin bin early in this one as Amundsen, he's going to sit for 2 for holding.
You know, I think it's big for both goaltenders to get those 3 saves under their belt. I know it's junior B lacrosse and anything can happen, but we haven't exactly seen, you know, any goaltender outside of Swan in this tournament steal the show. And he was phenomenal in that first game. We've seen good performances, but consistency, that's what you win with at the junior B level. Rebels are going to the power play. 4 for 6 against St. Albert this afternoon. Connors, give and go with Calix Simonson. Connors stepped down and hit Swan right in the chest. Rebound free game. Connors was thinking about the shot before he scooped up the rebound.
Connors, he likes to shoot from out far. Shades of Josh Fodchuk a little bit in his shot.
Well, rookie and event, Josh Fodchuk just played his final game of junior lacrosse this afternoon. Connors in his first season. Calix Simonson up top. Connors flips it low, takes it in, and it's going to ring red.
Nailed the post with that shot. It had some heat on that one.
Connors up top. We've seen probably 4 different power play looks for this Fort Saskatchewan Rebels team here. If you're looking to build chemistry, it's a little bit tough when the roster keeps changing. Simonson shot, scores! Calix Simonson draws first blood.
What a goal from Calix Simonson, able to beat Swan down low. And I was just saying not long ago how good Swan is down low. This one, though, escapes him, and Rebels up 1-0.
Interesting little bit of a bouncer there, too. Didn't get by him cleanly or anything, but Simonson, I'm not going to say he can rip the pill like his brother because Seb was an absolute menace in junior B, but Calix has there's some moments where you see it. That's a Simonson, no doubt.
He's got the Simonson blood in him.
Yeah, that's without question. Mavs get possession off the face-off win. Rebels open the scoring with a power play. Goal out of the stick of Calix Simonson. Ball ends up back up top. Clayton sets the pick. Nicola takes the shot. That's kicked to the corner with the left pad. Loose ball gets scooped up by Reese Walsh.
Solid showing so far for Reed McLeod.
Rebels lost 14-9 to the Calgary Shamrocks last night in this building. And talking to people within the organization, they thought that was one of their worst games all season. Wasn't a pretty one by any means.
Well, they're going to have the opportunity to face them one more time tomorrow, as barring this game being a high-scoring one, it's going to be a Rebel Shamrock semifinal tomorrow.
Pook, a bit of a wild whip, ends up in the Mavericks bench. Yeah, I don't have the math in front of me, but hearing people smarter yet again than me talk about it, the Rebels would have to win this game by approximately 15 goals just to even have a conversation.
My over-under's at about 3.
Yeah, I don't see any game in this tournament going that crazy. Especially not with these two teams. Here's Tej Brown running it up the floor. Big man, been filling in awesome with the likes of a guy like Rylan Walsh out of the lineup. You need those big bodies in a tournament like this to wear down, as he got tripped up on the play. Mavericks get a free pass, going the other way, transition. Loscott back on defense. Good save as Brendan Harnick stopped by McLeod.
Just a quick correction for you. This is going to be Rylan Walsh's first game back after suspension, I believe.
I do see Rylan Walsh on the bench. Wow. Okay, dash 1. And I was literally just looking at the game sheet, too. That's unbelievable. Back the other way goes Jordan Benko. Jordan Benko, transition threat. He can come out both sides. Defended by Baker. What a swim move. Till it in, he scores. Oh, my goodness. Jordan Benko, a highlight reel goal.
What a move to deke out the defender and pull the stick right back to the body and then tuck it in past McLeod. to tie this game at ones.
That's an elite swim move right there. I know you caught a forward back on defense in Jackson Baker, but oh my, put him on the clip. Knox Despens. Scramble off the face-off, ended up losing it for a second, and ball goes back to Grayson Amundsen. Mavericks will set up here, 1-1. We played 6 minutes. Shots are 7-6 in favor of the home side. And show. Outside look, and they score. This one sneaks through the arm of Reed McLeod. It's 2-1 for the Mavs. Well, Mountain View finds a response with back-to-back markers. And less than 25 seconds apart, it's now a Mountain View lead.
Good back and forth action to start this one.
Wouldn't expect anything less. These two teams, two of the best coached teams in Junior B lacrosse, and it's real no surprise to anyone that they're in the tournament together. Another turnover caused by the Mavericks. Their defense is physical, they're mean, but they're also clean. They don't take a ton of penalties either, as Brendan Harnack causes the turnover. Rosenworth over the floor to Sinclair. Sinclair ducks around Chaba. Ball bobbled a couple of times. Rylan Connors is actually back on defense for Fort Saskatchewan. Still there. Chaba trying to get to a shot clock will expire on it.
Connors took a bit of a swing at Bowman. I think Bowman was hoping for a penalty there, as it looked like it was right across the hands.
Pook now ends up throwing one away. Sometimes you want those calls, but at this stage of the season, the refs generally want you to play through them. Little spin move up top. Jordan Banco finds a teammate in Brayden Sinclair with it. Little up down for Jace Victoria. Victoria now throws it inside, and McLeod has to seal off that near pipe, but the ball doesn't hit him.
It's a nice job by McLeod. It almost looked like he may have overcommitted on the initial shot, but he was able to save it to get that second shot saved.
Tyler Manning, second game of the tournament for him. Ball goes over to Baker, going the wrong way. Try to go cross body there. Good save by Swan.
It looked like streaking across of the crease was Tyler Manning, looking to grab any rebound, but swallowed up by Swan.
Rosenworth outside, finds Clayton. Mikulik, little inside feet. Connors back on defense again. Low bouncer by Clayton. Ends up going wide. Rebound got put on goal, and the Rebels netminder sharp yet again. Outlet pass up for Matthew Vetch. It's high, but he's able to corral it. Penchone's on him, but Vetch got by and throws a bouncer into the netting above the glass.
Don't believe that caught a piece of Swan either. It looked like he bounced it off the floor just about a couple inches in front of him.
Kloss hands it off up top. Ryder bombing. Bombing. Big righty. Athletic. You can get to the middle real quick on you if you're not prepared. Despens pushing him to the outside. Mikulik up top, and he scores. So it's a rocket by Carter Mikulik, and the captain puts him up by 2.
Another shot with a lot of heat on it. It goes over on stick side past McLeod, and like that, it's 3-1 Mavericks.
Well, if you got grade A chances, you should score grade A goals, and the Mountain View Mavericks are making no mistake on those opportunities. They're getting to the middle of the floor, they're getting their hands free, and they're making Fort Saskatchewan pay. Matthew Vetch trying to track it down. Nickel has it. Been almost a month since Reed McLeod's first start with the Rebels. Played a little bit earlier against the St. Albert Crew in a small sample size of action. Reed low. Low now, far side. Swan made the save uncomfortably, though. Got caught in the tarp.
Yeah, it looked like he didn't quite know if that saved in his jersey there. As we've seen a couple goals in this tournament actually kind of like go through the jersey almost into the net.
Thiessen trying to defend Bosmore. Ball comes up top. Bombing, lets it fly and scores. Another one that McLeod got a piece of, but it finds its way across the goal line.
2 words to describe Reed McLeod on that shot: dazed and confused. He was looking back a couple times and left and right quite a few times. He definitely did not think that that ball got past him.
Well, the Rebels got off to a good start, and the Mavericks have punched back with 4 straight of their own. Despens, face-off win. Trying to find freedom here, but he's got 3 Mavs all over him. Owen throws a backhand on goal. Save is made.
Rebels have 10 shots on goal, but not a lot of high opportunity chances so far in this one.
Yeah, you look at those grade A chances, and I think shots on goal is kind of a liar at sometimes. You know, you'll see teams win with 30, 40 shots, but it's because they're taking grade A chances and not just flogging it on goal from the restraining line. Pass a little bit high for Braden Sinclair. Veteran just got hammered in front of the Rebels bench, and with 9:33 left to go, Rylan Walsh introduces himself to the Mavericks. Conversation continues, but the goalies will grab a water break. Keenan.
Yeah, Simonson was actually pushing Walsh back a little bit. They're telling him, hey, back off. Look, you're coming fresh off of a 3-game suspension after what happened in the North Final. Don't get back on the crap list of the RMLL.
And with the amount of injuries that this Rebels side has, you just can't afford to be doing anything like that.
No, it's just sloppy play if you're doing something like that. And a good call by Simonson to be like, hey, calm down a little bit, my guy.
What's your thoughts so far on the Mavericks? This is my first game that I've called them this season. I know you've seen them a little bit before. They sling the ball around good. Generally, they're more of a transition threat type offense, but right now they've scored 4 goals all on set pieces.
Yeah, so I've mentioned this a couple times over the tournament, is the Mavericks seem to be playing a bit of a different style than we're used to in this tournament. Is, like you said, they usually are playing a lot in transition, getting a lot of goals in transition. But in this tournament, you're seeing them set up a lot more on offense, not going for the transition goals, even in the second with the short change on offense. So it's a bit of a different style from the Mavericks, and I think that's kind of throwing some teams off a little bit, and why the Mavericks sit 3-0 so far in this tournament.
Yeah, they can beat you in different ways. That's it sounds almost like a National Lacrosse League team that's just won 3 straight championships. They will punch you with whatever hand they please. Matthew Vetch now off the restart. But a penalty is going to get called. It'll be a slashing call on the Mavericks. It was behind the play. Ryder Bombing's going to take it. I didn't see where it was.
I didn't either there. And, you know, Bombing not making maybe the smartest move there, as it looked like the Mavericks may have had an opportunity on the offense. And now it's going to go back the other way for the Rebels to try and start to gain some momentum back.
Rylan Connors up top on this power play again. Rebels 1 for 1 so far. Calix Simonson had the goal, opened the scoring. Dylan Pook to the middle. That shot got soaked by a defender. That'll leave a nice bruise tomorrow, but the Mavericks looking like they'll be sitting in the hotel. Simonson down low. Pook again, trying to go low by Swan. He dropped into that one knee down to make the save. Manning back for Pook. Up top, Simonson. A little bit of a fake. Connors walks his way inside. Not a lot of movement on this power play as Connors gets thrown down to the ground. Reed Lowe now missed his pass, but that almost worked out for him. Ends up throwing this one behind Connors as well. 10 to shoot for Fort Saskatchewan. Simonson, step down. That's off the foot of Brendan Harnack and into the ceiling.
You know, the Rebels, it seems like there may have been an offensive miscommunication there, as there was a lot of loose ball action happening pretty close to the center.
They're very spread out on this power play here. Lowe won't shoot it. Connors back up top for Lowe. Connors is there again. Little pump fake. Simonson back over. Low bounce shot. Ends up in the corner. Simonson again with it. Good work by the defenders to get in the lanes. And that's one thing. Mountain View does not care. They've got their ticket punched to the finals. They're going to be soaking shots if they can.
Sacrificing the body to make sure that doesn't get through to Swan. You want to keep Swan as fresh as you can for the final.
Behind the play, Tyler Manning just took a heavy cross check in the back. And Drake May is not happy about something. I'm not sure if Manning was getting into it with someone else behind the play or what exactly led to that cross check. He's not happy about it. And this is a Mavericks team that generally holds their cool.
Yeah, you know, Trey Christensen has done a great job with the Mavericks, you know, kind of teaching them, like, hey, be disciplined, stay out of the penalty box. And we've seen that quite often throughout the season, and I think right now just the Mavericks maybe, you know, kind of getting a bit ahead of themselves and trying to get maybe in the right mind space for the final of, like, hey, the Rebels are one of the two that we could see there. Let's prove a point.
Connors walks it in. They'll run it 4-on-3. Connors and Baker in the shooter spot. Simonson in lower crease side. Simonson back for Lowe. Very perimeter look again. Little fake shot. Simonson scores. Well, it took a second, and the quick stick connects. Calix Simonson has his second power play goal of the game, and the Rebels are down by 2.
About to say, it took a minute there for the referee to signal that that was a good goal, as Simonson was saying, yes, it is, about a good 2.5 seconds before the referee actually called that. And that's the momentum that the Rebels were looking for, as now they cut that lead down to 2.
Those are a bit weird as well. More so in arenas that still have white lacrosse mesh in their goals, which should be a crime. You should not be able to, like, I don't know. It's insane that black isn't enforced everywhere. But, sometimes it does look like it hits the back side or the front side. It's a little confusing at times, but the ref was right there and makes the call confidently. Manning inside. Now he's stopped by Swan.
Manning was down low, just looking for an opportunity over the shoulder of Swan.
Transition, Pancho. Little cutback. Shifty lefty here, not afraid to use the wheels to get open. Dumps this one back for Klaus. Mikluck, outside look. Good save there by Reed McLeod.
McLeod went really far over to make that stop. I thought he was in good position for the initial stop, but apparently I thought wrong.
He also hasn't faced a shot in a couple minutes. I know that doesn't feel like a long time, but as a goaltender, you really want to start to feel the ball, especially after allowing 4 on the first 10. Low now. He'll throw this one away. Gives the Mavs approximately enough time to kill the rest of the penalty before Drake May gets out of the sin bin. Rebels will throw a double team on him. Reese Walsh, Nichols in there to help as well. Cold Lake kit, popped it free. Now it's gonna jump into the Rebels bench, and they'll say it went off of a Fort Saskatchewan player first. I believe that's the right call. It did look like a Rebels player poked it north.
Yeah, it definitely did, but good heads up by Jack Nickel to try and fool the referees, but wasn't fooling them today.
They're pretty tough individuals to fool and also to argue with. You need a pretty dang good lawyer to change their minds. Carter Mikluck's up top. A couple of seconds left. Now May's out of the sin bin here. We're back to even strike. 6 minutes to go in the opening frame. Mikluck to the middle, doesn't shoot it. Long pass across. That got slung over to Clayton. Clayton now got bottom side on Nickel, let it fly. McLeod makes the save, and Walsh grabs the rebound.
McLeod was looking around for it for a minute there, as he thought he swallowed all of it up and then realized that he didn't after he didn't feel it.
Reese Walsh now trying to avoid an over and back, won't be able to do so.
Took a bit of a high hit there too, right up into the face mask there, and referee missed that one.
Can't put yourself in that over and back position. If you see the center line, you gotta head the other way. Long pass up top, floated into Victoria. Victoria's got the bright blue kicks out here. Across the floor. Despins to defend. McLeod makes the save. Swallows up the rebound.
Good rebound control there from Reed McLeod. One of the strongest rebound controls that we've seen in this game so far from him.
Despins goes for a bit of a jog. He'll take the Anthony Hende. Finds Reed low up top. Less than 5 to go. Period number 1. Mavericks lead by 2.
Connors got driven into the boards there.
Kai Kloss will outlet it. Mavs are upset. Looks like there's a couple of bodies being tossed in front of the change boxes. Now an instant call coming as Brown just went and hauled down Brendan Harnick. Scrim shot. He'll grab a hold of a forward down there as well. Things will start to heat up a little bit, but now we're going to first look at the Mountain View Mavericks power play.
Yeah, and the power play for the Mavs has been fairly strong all year long. They get a lot of good looks, and, you know, if you make any sort of error, this is a Mavericks team that will be able to expose you and make you pay for that.
Well, Brown was going to the sin bin, and now they're going to move Ashton Johnston there.
Yeah, I think they're
I
giving
feel like
the
that's
initial one. Johnson gave kind of the initial push there, so I believe that's the reason why they're throwing him in.
Maybe that's right. We'll let the chat let us know. Hey, how's it going? Thanks everyone for tuning in as well. It's going to be an exciting one here. A little Saturday night Junior Beast After Dark. Hope you're enjoying it on CROW LAX TV. Nabs are on the power play. Johnston's in the penalty box. Miklik up top of the power play. Oh, he was winding up to let a booming shot go. He's already got one in the contest, looking for his second of the period. Miklik quarterbacks it, lefty strong. Look, there it is, top shelf, Carter Miklik. It's 5-2.
What a shot from Miklik, almost the exact same place as his first goal as well. As Miklik with the power play marker here for the Mavericks, put them up by a score of 5-2, maintaining that 3-goal lead.
Well, lesson learned, if you're Fort Saskatchewan, you probably want to stay out of the penalty box against these guys.
I feel like that's a general good rule of thumb. It's a little bit of extra pushing and shoving here before.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit behind the play there, too. The ref's going to have to go have a conversation and cool things off. I believe that's Andrew Murray getting into it with Dylan Pook. Pardon me, Cale Owen. Owen now is knocked down. Loose ball still free. It's grabbed by Matthew Vetch. So the Rebels captain has it.
Murray was on top for a second of Owen. Referee was right on top of the action and no call.
Now Vetch trying to swim move through a double team. Breakaway opportunity the other way. It's Amundsen all alone. Amundsen scores! Flying through the crease. Grayson Amundsen in transition. And the Mavericks have half a dozen.
Grayson Amundsen, if there's one thing he's good at, it's those diving shots. It's earlier in the season when the Mavericks were visiting the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels, he almost scored a goal that was identical to that one, but that one was on Bowen Carpenter, not Reed McLeod.
3:45 left to go in the opening frame, and the hosts find themselves down by 4. Alex Simonson stepping in on the draw, and he's gingerly going to head to the change box.
Thought he was Lionel Messi there for a minute, the way he kicked that ball.
Bosworth, far side, help comes in by Steele. Clayton dumps it off, Miklik cross floor. Long shot there, goes over the shoulder of the Rebels netminder, kept in by Miklik, but with 1 second left in the shot clock, he just dumps it down.
Yeah, that was a smart heads-up play, and had the Mavericks had a few more seconds left on that shot clock, probably would have been able to go for another shot too.
Reese Walsh will run it down. Walsh now. Peels back in the corner, passes up top. Dylan Pook now. Let that one fly, and Mountainview throwing multiple bodies in the way. Pook got a hold of it, though, knocks it down. Loose ball falls to the middle. It's a 2-on-1 the other way. Jack Nickel caught all alone. Reed McLeod, the big stop on the 2-on-1.
Nice job by Reed McLeod there with the guy right in front of him, wide open for such a long time.
Micah Thiessen there as Drake May was on the back check. Calix Simonson, good to see him back out there after looking a little shaken up. Here's Tyler Manning. Manning now backdoor feed, trying to hit Jackson Baker. That's a little bit low for a one-timer and isn't able to connect. Shots dead even 15-15. The difference being Mountain View is making them count.
Slamming his stick in frustration coming back to the bench was Baker. He was not happy that he wasn't able to catch that pass.
Mavs will run it through up top. Hawk and Clayton. Little back pedal. What a spin move. Clayton inside. 5 will attempt. Won't go.
Reed McLeod pinching that one off there as he's going to throw that one into the roof almost immediately.
Great save. Not so great of an outlet pass. And Mountain View gets a present from the boys in black. Johnson, the help of Calix Simonson. They'll cause a turnover, and Micah Thiessen has to climb the ladder just to catch that one.
Yeah, the Rebels, they need to get something going here on offense in the dying 2 minutes of the first here. You don't want to go into this first intermission down by 4.
Holding the ball for just a little too long yet again as Thiessen got stripped. Dylan Pook has it the other way. No shot clock reset either, though, and Fort Saskatchewan. Unforced errors are probably in the dozen-plus range this period alone for the Rebels.
Yeah, and I think that's what's kind of eating them alive in this first period here.
Bombing up top. Pushed out by Thiessen. Mikla decides to pass this one inside. He's already got 2 in the game. I don't mind a little heat check there. Instead, he tries to pass this one down. And I believe that was Liam Steele. Didn't catch it cleanly.
Steele's had a few goals in this tournament just like that. And looking for another one here, but no dice.
Baker inside. Connors is there. Denied by Swan. In tight like that, it's tough to jam at 5-ball. You really have to place it perfectly. But maybe he's seeing something we're not. But Alex Swan covers plenty with the big traditional goalie stick. 20 seconds left to go. Opening frame. That bouncer is going to catch the end boards and bounce all the way into Mountain View territory. 14 seconds left. They could pull McLeod and go 6-on-5. Or they can use their timeout, and Darren Brake, Jamie Blanchard and company will grab the clipboard.
I would probably assume that here they're going to pull Reed McLeod with only, again, like you said, about 14 seconds left here in the first. Gives them just enough time to run a play, and we'll see exactly what they're drawing up.
Biggest thing you're noticing from Mountain View's side, where you saw them earlier in the year, what have they improved on since that regular season matchup?
You know, I think that one thing, and as we mentioned earlier about how they're not playing as much as in transition, is that they're not relying as much on their transition game as they were early in the season. And again, that has fooled a lot of teams, especially here in the Larry Bishop. Over the late stages of the season, it did the exact same thing, and that's what's contributed a lot to the Mavericks looking so strong. Not just looking strong, being strong.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than looks at this point. They're 4-0 in the tournament. And
3-0 right now.
They're 3-0.
On track to go 4-0 right now.
4-0. And remember, the Mavs only scored 4 in that meeting earlier in the season. Fort Saskatchewan took it 9-4, but I've heard it a zillion times in the last 48 hours. Regular season doesn't matter. And yeah, that's been reigning true so far this weekend. All right, 6-on-5. Simonson to Baker. Lowe's up top. It's his own teammate. That's some friendly fire as Grayson Amundsen won't have enough time to fire at the empty net. Doesn't overly affect his squad, though. They're up 6-2. 20 down, 40 to go. Keenan, goaltending. Is this something where Reed McLeod can dial it in? Is it a defensive adjustment that the Rebels need to make? What's going to change?
Yeah, as you said, this is his first start in about a month for the Rebels. So, I mean, I think it's a bit of a feeling out process. And yes, he did have a little bit of time earlier in the tournament in the net. Again, not a start, but had some time coming in relief. So I think it's still just a bit of a feeling out process, kind of getting back into game, getting back into form. And that kind of thing is what McLeod really just needs to kind of hem in on and zone in on.
Oh, 1 period down, 2 to go. Mountain View's up 6-2. Looking to lock in first place in the Larry Bishop Memorial Cup. You're watching the 2025 tournament live on CROW LAX TV. The second period's coming up next. minutes away from the start of period number 2 in game number 10 of the Larry Bishop Memorial Cup. Good evening, it's Cody Jansen, Keenan Kando with you this evening as the Mountainview Mavericks lead the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels 6-2 after 20 minutes of play. The Rebels opened the scoring. It was Calix Simonson on the power play, and then the Mavs poured it on. 6 goals in the opening frame, including a goal and 2 assists from Ryder Bombing. 2 goals also from Carter Mikulak. Calix Simonson has both goals for Fort Saskatchewan. Both came on the power play. Shots dead even, 16 apiece. Rebels 2 for 3 on the power play. Mavericks 1 for 1. Mountainview 3-0 in the tournament, looking to go a perfect 4-0 and punch their ticket to Monday's finals. Fort Saskatchewan knows they're playing in the semifinals tomorrow, barring a crazy tiebreaker. And at the rate that they're at right now, I do not see that even being feasible. Reed Lowe, little toe drag inside, stepped in the crease.
Yeah, at the current rate, I think they would have to score 20 goals in the last 40 minutes to even get there.
Yeah, and that's like 21 goals they would have to score and allow maybe 1 left. The numbers don't add up. Trust us, Chad.
The math ain't mathin'.
Mavericks offense, again, they're slinging it here. McLeod makes a good stop. Bosworth let that one fly low to the glove side. They're really hitting their spots, but they're also understanding of, hey, if the Rebels aren't going to get out on hands and let us shoot from those, middle areas, why not walk to the slot and let it fly? Bombing, slings it across the floor. Steele, cutting inside again. Little crease action there. Brown runs it up the floor. Big lefty as Simonson and Jolivet as the first 2 off the bench. Looking for an outlet. Little spin back move. Doesn't have a relief foul though. Brown, 20 on the shot clock. 1 hand on his stick. Now he finds Jolivet and can go for a change. Tyler Manning out of the corner. Manning, big bodied righty. Youngster in the junior circuit. Slings it down for Dylan Pook. Ball to the corner. Pook is there. Baker as well. Jolivet up top. Ends up dumping it into the corner as the Rebels were already going for a change.
Mavericks doing a nice job on that defensive possession of keeping the Rebels hemmed to the outside there.
They do a good job as an organization of that, and it kind of reminds you of, the Edmonton Warriors of a few years ago when they won a Founders Cup, the Calgary Shamrocks pre-COVID. It's those big physical defense, and that's what you have to have in tournaments like this, and no doubt about it, if that's a team going to the Founders Cup, the Mavericks have a chance. Chaba runs down low. Throws it over, and he finds Calix Simonson. Put him on hat-trick watch. He's got 2 already. Floats this one up top. Dylan Pook. Pook up top. Got his hands free and misses that far pipe. Down low. Reed Lowe's there. Trying a little BTB flip, but Connors was all tied up with his defender.
Yeah, and a nice job just being there for Drake May, able to pick up that.
Drake May's so good. It's just one of those fifth-year players, reliable, has some Founders Cup experience under his belt, and boy, he's not afraid. He can get the green light and stay and play some offense if he needs, but as a defender, he's just an absolute workhorse back there.
Absolutely.
Little rollout by Bombing, ends up whipping this one wide. Over and back will get called.
Maybe a little bit too much heat on that one, is hoping to pick up the own rebound.
He's feeling good. He's got 3 points already in this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too mad.
You don't mind that if you're the coach.
Definitely not.
Another turnover for Fort Saskatchewan. They must have had 15 in the first period.
Yeah, that's definitely where the Rebels, I think, need to shape up a little bit coming in through the second period, is they need to stop giving the Mavericks so many opportunities for free.
And also, remember, there's a lot of names out of the lineup, even for Mountain View, too. No Jace Delinsky, no Devin Gardner. They're missing some key pieces. Fort Saskatchewan, no Jackson Kohut, no Nolan Eastwood, no Devin Banjama. And their starting goaltender, Bowen Carpenter, as well. So, barring injuries and whatnot, this Rebels team could look different tomorrow in the semifinals. Mavs are going to head back the other way. Baker behind the play, end up taking out a defender. 3-on-2, Mavericks the other way, and that one's going to ring some iron right there for Brendan Harnick.
That was a good opportunity for the Mavericks, and just gets all post the whole time as a Maverick behind the play loses his shoe.
Blown tire behind the play. Now they'll slow things down. We've played 4 minutes and 20 seconds of the second period. No one has yet to tinkle the twine. Now Reese Walsh. Causes a bit of turnover. Brown's going to run into his forward. Low to high shot right there. Liam Steele trying to ride the elevator.
Yeah, nothing more coming of what was in front of the benches here, but definitely something to keep an eye on is how chippy this game's going to start to get as we come down the stretch.
Yeah, I don't expect this to be a Crude versus Kings 2.0 this morning. You had the pleasure of calling that one. That's a riot. Here's Reed Lowe, though. He'll run this down low, kicks it up top, shooter spots Simonson. That ball got blocked. Mavs probably 5+ block shots already. Now Nichols got to defend a 2-on-1. He'll jump towards the ball handler. Pass did get over to Jordan Banco, but Reed McLeod dialed it in. He's got 4 saves now in this period.
Stonewalled him from a point-blank opportunity.
Nickel, Lakeland product, finds Dylan Pook. Baker, Connors. Shot ends up in the arm of Alex Swan.
And Swan has been so good just swallowing up all of these rebounds, and there's a reason that he's basically the top goaltender of this tournament.
Aaron pass there, ends up going right back to Kloss.
Bit of an interesting
I don't know if that
pass.
hit like the circle in front of the penalty box or what.
I think that went off of a stanchion.
Okay, it came right back to him. Just an awkward play. Now in transition, here's an opportunity. Knox Despin scored twice against the Crude this afternoon. Despin stripped of the ball now.
Slipped a sandwich shot there between two Mavericks. I thought that was a dangerous play and could have ended up horribly.
Little ball roll on the concrete for Jace Victoria. Youngster had 10 points in their series against the Chill. Little cycle up top. Cutting the middle. Penalty is going to get called. Maybe even 2, I believe. Amundsen flying through the crease there. It'll get called. 1 hold for sure. There almost could have been 2.
I honestly thought that there was going to be 2. There's Scrimshaw basically just gave him a bear hug from behind practically.
Mountain View going to the power play once again. They are perfect so far this evening.
Yeah, the Mavericks having the opportunity now to extend the lead to 5, and a 5-goal lead with about halfway through the game. That's a strong place to be for the Mavericks.
Power play up top. Mikulik's on hat-trick watch. Does have a power play goal in the first period. This one goes off the shoulder of Reed McLeod and out of play.
Nearly got that hat-trick goal too. Game of inches there. A couple inches higher, and that was over the shoulder.
Bombing's in that other shooter spot there too. You wonder if they set a cross pick and try free him up. Low to low, they don't need it. Short side, 7-2 for the Mavs.
Yeah, that was a nice shot there on the far side by, I believe, that was Bossenworth that threw that one past McLeod. And that's exactly what the Mavericks wanted. 5-goal lead now, still 13:08 to go in the second. You've really got the Rebels on your heels.
I think that was Victoria. Lefty just ripped it under the glove of Reed McLeod, and now 2 for 2 on the power play. Fort Saskatchewan, we said it before the game. We've said it, everyone said it when you're playing Mountain View. Stay out of the penalty box and make sure you're good in reverse transition. Fort Saskatchewan has yet to do either, and they find themselves down by 5.
Rebels need to find some sort of offense here and find it soon.
Penalty coming against Mountain View off the face-off. A little bit of rough stuff in front of that Rebels bench. Reed Lowe for Baker. Across the floor, save made as Cale Owen. Decided not to quick stick it, he caught it. And sometimes you can go far side with that. they've put probably a dozen right into the logo of Alex Swan, and you're not going to score that way.
No, and as we were mentioning in the first there, is that the Rebels aren't really throwing a lot of grade A, high-quality opportunities at Swan. It seems like it's kind of more of just a bit of shooting practice that Swan is just kind of stopping at the moment. The Rebels, they have to find a way to make something high danger on Swan, force him to make a stop.
Ryder bombing goes to the sin bin for 2 or less. Reed low, trying to walk out front and go 5-hole.
Yeah, Swan had that entire side pinched off.
Calix Simonson, 2 power play goals already today. Nickel pushed into the boards. The ball is going to go all the way back down. No reset though. 7 seconds here.
Yeah, smart move there just to dump it down the floor. As Nickel and, I didn't catch who that was. I believe that was Pancho ran into each other there.
Knox Despins hands it off, and Calix Simonson's up top. Simonson, big back pedal. Manning takes a healthy hack. Connors back from Manning behind him. Kicks it down into the corner. Defender Ethan Hildebrandt's all over him. Penalty coming though. Manning up top for Connors. 5 to shoot. Caught the shoulder of Alex Swan. It'll get touched up here by Kai Kloss, and it'll be a 5-on-3 for 42 seconds.
Hildebrand trying to plead his case, saying, how is that a slashing? Well, the referee seems to disagree with you, Hildebrand. I'm sorry. It almost looked like it was almost a slash across the hands.
Mountain View's physical, but generally they ride that line pretty good, and yeah. I say that's why one of the reasons why they're very successful, right? The best teams get away with a lot of that, and they do it within the boundaries of the game. Mountain View, well, they've got themselves in a bit of penalty trouble so far. Their defense has been spectacular all tournament long. Simonson, short side, knew he had room on Swan. He did that one leg down. Opened up some room, and Simonson just couldn't put it home. Simonson back to low. Quick stick ends up in the corner. Give him the reset though. Pook. Connors. Connors shot goes wide, and now Nickel has to jump back on defense as Amundsen run the floor. Connors causes a turnover. Back to 5-on-4, but it's a 2-on-1. Connors inside. Kick saved by Swan. Got the left plastic in the way. Keeps it a 5-goal game. Low fires. They had him with the hidden ball trick, and he rips one off the defender.
I'll be honest, they had me fooled too. That's
everyone in the building was looking at the wrong man right there. Baker's shot got stopped by Swan. Connors now trying to cause a turnover. Defender has his stick a little held up there.
Fans in the building are livid that there wasn't a penalty there.
They've already got 2 power plays in a row, I think. And again, you want to call it by the book, but you also have to manage the game.
Absolutely.
30 seconds left to go. Power play for Fort Saskatchewan. Calix Simonson's up top. Down for Pook. Quick stick got denied. Little push and a shovel there as Harnick breakaway scores. Shorty for Brendan Harnick.
Picks it up in between a couple of defenders there and has some open floor to work with. And McLeod just can't move over quite fast enough.
That just comes down to who wants it more.
Yeah.
And that's Brendan Harnick.
Well, he's awarded with a goal for wanting it more.
Shorty makes it 8-2. Reed McLeod wants a water break.
They're actually going to switch him out for Martel.
Goaltenders.
They're going to put in Carson Martel here now.
Didn't even see Martel sneak off the bench right there.
Carson Martel, formerly of the Tier 2 Parkland Posse.
And I know Reed McLeod was battling a upper body injury. I'll catch myself on that one. And in the last half of the regular season, So I know no one's 100% out there in the tournaments, but battling through are the many. Here's Dylan Poop. Throw it up top, back to even strength. Simonson for Manning. Simonson now to Connors. Defender out on him. Connors trying to swim back. Got the ball, got to the middle, and it's off target.
Yeah, on that initial shot, he slipped one defender, couldn't slip the second and third.
Scrimshaw forces an over and back, and the Hornet is fired up. Shades of Miller's Scrimshaw right there. Causes an over and back, means it'll be Rebels possession after a goalie water break. This time it's for real.
This time they didn't fool you, Cody. Yeah, the Rebels going over to Carson Martel now is, you assume Reed McLeod probably pretty shaken up there, taking 8 goals on 25 shots against, compared to, you know, the Rebels almost tying them there, 24 shots, and only 2 of them going in. And I think the Rebels, they're still struggling there on the offensive and putting on those grade A chances, and it seems to kind of be the story of the game here is the Rebels just not getting those high danger opportunities.
Yeah, you got to find ways to get to the middle, and I wonder if they start to switch things up on offense. Maybe not exactly what you want to do as a coach in a round robin game that essentially means nothing to them. Yeah. But you might have to put a D guy out there to start setting some picks, because they are not getting their shooters to open spaces. And maybe that's a bit of a conservative game, not wanting to get hurt. But you got to find a way, because 2 goals through half the game, not enough.
And it's understandable, too, not wanting your guys to get hurt. I mean, you're already kind of running in a bit of injury trouble right now as the Rebels, and you don't want to risk anything moving into the semifinal Sunday and final Monday, right? So I kind of get it from a perspective, but also you're fighting and trying to, you know, kind of prove a point and, you know, go into that semifinal with a lot of momentum, and unfortunately this is not the way to do it.
Now running up top through Ethan Gelvet. Blazes past his defender, but the middle quickly closed. Owen outside, Simonson inside feed. Reed low, trying to rip it fine full. Yet again, won't go by Swan.
But that's the kind of opportunities that the Rebels are looking for down low, just like that.
That's great movement. Reed low, unable to capitalize though. They're trying to go 5-hole on him instead of put it outside the heels. Might want to start throwing some up high also as Swan's starting to drop down a bit. Carson Martel makes a save. Rebound free game in the slot. Martel didn't know where it was for a second, and his defender soaked that. But now a penalty behind the scene. Rylan Walsh takes the slashing penalty, and he'll go sit for 2 or less.
Yeah, Mavericks bench just yelling a lot, telling them to get moving towards the penalty boxes there. They were not happy with how hard that slash was. As Riley Lodermeyer is actually over talking to the referee at the moment.
I think they were asking for a 5, but quickly changed.
I was going to say, you don't see a 5-minute slashing too often.
If it's a little egregious, I don't see, you know, why not, right? You got to keep the game within reason, but it's a 6-goal spread. Not exactly out of reach, but the way the Mountain View Mavericks have been playing this weekend, good luck catching them. Bombing won't shoot it. Mikulik does, and there's the hat trick. 9-2 for the guys in yellow.
I think we should start renaming the outside right at the top of the dotted as Mikulik's office, because he's scored all 3 of them from practically the same spot on the floor.
3 power plays, 3 power play goals for Mountain View. They have a system that is working.
100% power play. Unbelievable.
Another face-off win by Pancho. Dumped into the corner. Reese Walsh will battle with Harnick. Walsh ends up losing his stick though. Has to go back and grab it. It'll be 15 seconds for the Mavs offense to work with. Hawk and Clayton outside. Pass it across. Bosmworth. trying to go glove side low. Has it up top, 2 on the shot clock. Long bouncer on goal. Carson Martel makes a save. Remember, Fort Saskatchewan without their starter, Bowen Carpenter, this evening. Walsh pass inside feed. Baker yet again trying to put it at the boots of Swan, and I know that's the scouting report, and it clearly ain't working. Here's Lodemeyer. Breakaway denied by Martel.
Yeah, that was a nice save by Martel on the other end of the floor after Swan makes that one there, and as the Rebels with a bit of an egregious giveaway there.
Yeah, just no need to rush that. The Mavs had 3 guys back. You're not going in transition on a 4-on-3 anyways, so you just have to make a good outlet pass.
But you might.
I'm not a coach for a reason. I'll leave it at that. Here's Braden Sinclair up top. Zips it over to the lefties. Mikluck again. Trying to put this one head high on Martel. It bounces all the way back to his own netminder.
So now the Rebels will have some sort of offensive opportunity here down low in the Maverick zone. They'll want to capitalize now.
6.5 to go in the middle frame. Jolivet finds Dylan Pook. Pook outside look. This will bounce from 200 feet down his own way.
Rips that one about a foot too wide of the net, as he did have a bit of space over there, but unfortunately I don't think the nets are quite that big in lacrosse.
Yeah, they're not that big at the pro level either. Braden Sinclair up top. Veteran on this Mavs squad. Slings it over to Bosworth. Back to Victorian. Scored a power play goal earlier this period. Went short side on Reed McLeod. Doesn't shoot it this time. They'll swing it through the lefties again. 8 on the shot clock. Bouncer got blocked. Hawk and Clayton try to get it through a maze of bodies.
Clayton was taking quite a few slashes there, so there's going to be an extra little shove there behind the play. Nothing more really of that.
Ball got thrown away yet again. Awkward bounce on Swan. Ends up behind the net.
Swan playing a little bit of hot potato there.
Dangerous opportunity. It's like when a hockey goaltender goes behind in the rim.
Catches Mike Smith.
Yeah, catching something funny in the boards. And it is hot and humid in here. The walls are just covered in water inside. Mikluck right down the highway. Dropped that pass. Plus 30 back-to-back days out here in Fort Saskatchewan. Martel, good shoulder save on Bosworth.
Yeah, and I believe in that last game there was probably 13 or 14 breaks just to wipe up the floor with how hot and humid it actually is in this building. I can only imagine wearing all that gear and playing for this long. I'm sweating just broadcasting.
Reed low. Finds Simonson. Rebels will want to get him going if the offense is to succeed here to make this score a little easier on the ice. Jackson Baker to the corner. Low, it's on goal, but Swan made that save very casually.
Yeah, just a routine stop for him at this point as he is dialed in.
Shots on goal, 30-27 in favor of Mountainview. Little toe drag around Ryland Walsh and a swim move to the net. Oh, that could be up for a goal of the tournament. Jordan Banco, have yourself a shift.
Slips past one defender, fakes out the second, and then one hand far side past Martel. You know what, Cody? I'm going to say it. I think that was the goal of the tournament.
He scored a nasty swim goal earlier, too. Boy, this guy doesn't score ugly ones. It's 10-2 for Mountain View. Jack Nickel grabs it off the face-off, and now in front of the change box is Ashton Johnson.
I think he just dropped Sinclair right in front of the change boxes there.
It's getting heated between the benches. Coaches, players, everyone having a quick chat.
Might have to put a bodyguard down there to keep them separated.
No, that's why Jesse Ott's down there. Hey, we got the 1A video guy between the benches shooting it all week on Instagram. Ashton Johnston's going to hit the showers early, as this is going to be a 5-minute major. It is in the change boxes, and you cannot hit someone there.
Yeah, just a bit of a sloppy play from Johnson, and his night is over.
Harnick and Baker will get an explanation from the officials. They've only put 2 up on the board, but they've sent Johnson to the showers.
A bit of an interesting play there, I guess, putting up only a 2-minute. Despins is going to head over to the box to serve it.
So he'll be there in-house for this game. Now, normally he would be a penalty kill out there. The Rebels only have 2 guys on the penalty kill right now. Scrimshaw and Wash will go out to complete the quadruple.
And they're leaving it as 2 on the score clock as well.
Another power play for Mountain View. They're 100% in this game. No shot from Bombing. Mikulak up top. Already has 3 goals, 2 of them on the man advantage. Low shot got soaked right there by Thiessen. Shot clock will expire as the 2:44s meet in the near side corner.
Yeah, and the Rebels making sure the Mavericks can't get in down low on that power play opportunity.
Which they've been fine with. They've been scoring from distance all game. No need to get to the dirty areas when you got shooters like the guys in gold. Rylan Connors now. Little swim move, spin back. Trying to go through a double team now. 5 to shoot. And that goes 1.5 meters wide.
Yeah, and just throwing it in the general direction of the nets. I mean, if you don't shoot, you can't score.
Jace Victoria at a power play goal to open up period number 2 for Mountain View. Bombing. Up top, Mikulak won't shoot. Got it back, now he let it fly. That caught the top of Martel's stick.
Yeah, butt end up into the roof and out of play.
.30 seconds left on this Mavericks power play. 2:30 to go here in the second. Pass in the corner, grabbed by Brown. He'll float it up the floor. Nichols there. Baker's off the bench. Pass over to Baker. A couple of fakes, and he put it right in the pad.
Baker had a lot of space short side to go and opts to go down 5-hole.
Victoria now in transition. He'll head right to the neutral. And got stopped by Martel.
Walsh was actually giving him the business there for a second afterwards.
Victoria walked to the neutral zone untouched, and he's like, I might as well just run this one in here. More time and space than he's used to, I guess. Run around the top. Shot got kicked out as Clayton with the big wind-up. This is going to roll back into Mavericks territory.
The Rebels bench was questioning about something there. Not exactly sure what that was.
Baker controls near half wall. Pook trying to open up some space. Connors is off the bench. Flying over to Jolivet. Baker's there. Down for Pook. That shot got soaked by the defender.
And another shot that was aimed down low. Rebels haven't caught on that apparently you're not going to beat Swan down there tonight.
Yeah, it's just not working, right? And sometimes you have the scouting reports, and if you stick to it a little bit too much, well, those changes or lack thereof can cost you. Bosworth down low. Penalty coming to Fort Saskatchewan. And the way this game's been going, I think you could have bet the farm it was going to be a slashing call.
This Scrimshaw is going to sit for 2 for slashing here.
Yeah, he'll play his case, but he's going to need a better lawyer to get out of this one. Exactly a minute left to go in the second period. Mountain View up 10-2 on Fort Saskatchewan.
Referees are sending Walsh out too.
10-minute misconduct, that is. So I'm not sure if it'll be an unsportsmanlike 2 or just a 10.
Looks like it's just going to be the 10.
So the Rebels will need to throw another defender out here. They only have 3 right now.
It's going to be Despins that they're going to send out there.
So still a 5-on-4 power play for Mountain View. Mikulak up top. Bombing. Mikulak bombing. Little give and go. Zip that one across. A little too hot to handle for Bosmore. Micah Thiessen off the bench. Transition, green light, denied.
I think that ball has gotten the most through Swan that any ball has all night.
Rolls into the corner though. Drake May will slow it down. Swan's gonna go to the bench here. They're gonna run a 6-on-4. I don't see a delayed call. Oh, they're gonna switch goaltenders now.
They'll put Brady Evanson in now, mid-play.
Up top, Victoria lets it go. Martel makes the save. Brown pushes the loose ball back, ends up behind the cage. Martel's just gonna sit on this one as period 2 comes to a close. Couple extra words and exchanges. These two teams, well, they could be seeing themselves. They're seeing each other not tomorrow, but potentially on Monday.
Yeah, and it all depends on how that semifinal goes. At this rate, it is looking like it is going to be confirmed a Rebels Shamrock semifinal. Mavericks taking the victor of that game on Monday.
Well, they're up by 8. 40 down, 20 to go. Mavericks lead 10-2. It's the Larry Bishop Memorial Cup live on CROW LAX TV. We're back with a third. All right, a minute away from period at number 3. It's game number 10, the final round robin game at the Larry Bishop Memorial Cup, the 2025 edition at the JRC in Fort Saskatchewan. Cody Jansen, Keenan Kanda with you this evening as the Mountainview Mavericks are laying a licking on the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels right now. 10-2 is the score. They beat Calgary Shamrocks 12-1 earlier today. Sometimes when you're hot, you're hot. But this Mavericks team, we knew coming in, they should be up there as the favorites.
Yeah, you know, they've had themselves an absolute day. And, you know, I think the Mavericks still, even this year, were a bit underestimated coming into this tournament by good measure whatsoever.
By 2 podcast hosts that picked the Chill to beat them in the Central Division. We won't name the guest who picked the Mavericks to win that series.
You know what? I'm going to choose to ignore that comment.
Yeah, we'll let that go unnamed. Hey, also appreciate everyone tuning in all week long. I know Jeremy's in the chat saying thanks for getting the stream up and running. Jeremy, if only you knew half of the stuff we went through today. Huge thanks to Keenan and company. Essentially, the router that was getting used in the building completely fried. So, yeah, that means no internet. And, yeah, we've been running this off of Hotspot, just piecing together things to get by today. Knock on wood, we've got a router coming in tomorrow. We should be able to get that set up for the semis and, you know, get all that fancy fun stuff going once again. But, yeah, appreciate everyone being patient with us here today because it has been a long couple of days. And, of course, when you have the technical difficulties that are kind of out of our control, it's frustrating for everyone. Mavs are still in the power play, though, here. They are 2 for 4 so far in this contest. Mikulik's up top. He's got a hat trick in the game. 8 on the shot clock. Outside look. Bombing. Let that one fly. And that caught Brown right in the kisser.
That is a brutal shot to take, especially from a guy who can put so much behind his shots. Brown looked to be in a bit of pain there.
A bit of pain. That's unbelievable. He just walked off on his own power.
He's still standing on the bench, too, not even taking a second to relax or anything like that.
I'd take 3 weeks off work if that hit me.
Soccer player would take 6.
Yeah. Jolivet down over the restraining line. Finds Calix Simonson, the lone guy to score for Fort Saskatchewan here in this one. He's got both goals. Both came in the first period as well. Jolivet now won't shoot over the top. Back to Dylan Pook, low to low, goes wide of Swan.
There's a Maverick that went down behind the play there and was a bit slow to get up. Up under his own power, though, which is a good thing to see.
So Alex Swan got pulled at the end of the last period after getting up slow, and I believe it was just a trainer check. They were just saying, hey, are you okay? He's clearly battling something. Tough kid, but something isn't feeling exactly right. I think they just want to check and make sure he's good. Gave him the thumbs up, and now he's back out for the 3rd period. Moved to the middle by Hawk and Clayton. Stripped the ball, ends up coming right back to him in the slot there. Didn't pick it up cleanly, though, on his backhand. Matthew Vetch, captain of the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels, runs it up the floor. Vetch now got it back and took a healthy dose of hacks. Other wing, Drake Mink, transition breakaway, rings hung. Mays down in the corner. He's got the green light to stay out here if he wants. Clayton. He'll swing it around to the far corner. Back for Clayton. Rips this one. Martel makes the sink.
And it kind of rolled out of the stick of Martel as well, as he didn't quite pinch quite hard enough to hold it in place.
Pook stays on his feet. 20 on the shot clock here. Rebels a little slow to get their offense out, though. Calix Simonson. Pook. Back door. Jolivet trying to go 5-hole, and it's behind him. Ref trying to get a look. No goalie sense.
Call for a floor wipe here as well. And just a quick note is the player that went down earlier was Easton Ertmed, and he actually passed behind us right here in the media box. And it
that sounds crazy. I got this song passed behind us. He's still alive, folks. He was just walking behind us.
Passed behind us. Okay, maybe poor choice of words there. Poor choice on my part.
It's Junior Beast after dark, but we're not getting that crazy.
Swan is back over at the bench. And, you know, you were mentioning earlier about a trainer check. I believe earlier in that second period, he, I think, was signaling towards his helmet and that there may have been an issue with his helmet. So I wonder if it was almost a trainer check looking at his equipment. And that's why they threw in Evanson for like the last minute of play there.
I think there's 2 goalies wearing those like field lacrosse helmets.
Swan is one of them.
Andrews in Queen City. Okay, I guess there's just 2. It feels like there's a lot more, but again, you see the same 5 teams for 48 hours straight. It feels like we're seeing a lot of field lacrosse helmets.
Very true.
I'm not going to say ban them, but it's not my favorite look in the game.
They got kind of a nifty little shape to them compared to normal.
Stop. Do not start defending field lacrosse style goalie helmets.
Okay, I digress.
That's where I draw the line on the broadcast. Carter Miklick whips this one across. Got a one-handed pass up top. Rylan Connors is back on defense again. Ball goes to Jace Victoria. Outside look, bouncer there by Ryder Bauman. Got a lot of that one and caught the shoulder.
He's got one rocket of a shot.
Victoria. Down in the corner. Now they go and set a pick. Bombing again. Save made by Martel. Rebounds free game. That goes off the post again. Second post of the period for the Mavs.
A game of posts. Well, the Mavs would be winning right now.
Yeah, they're winning in pretty much every category so far this evening. Let's be real with it.
True.
Dylan Poop on the half wall. All the way over. Low backdoor feed. Swan got there on Simonson.
Simonson had some good hang time there, just trying to tuck it over the shoulder of Swan.
I know they're trying to go east-west on Swan and really get him moving, but he plays so deep in that net, it really doesn't matter. I think, you know, if you're going to beat him, you're going to have to start placing some shots inside the pipe.
And he's so tall, he just fills out the net so well.
And he's not that big of a kid in a sense of there's goaltenders, you know, that are massive. You see him without gear on, he looks completely different.
Maybe it's the jersey. Maybe that's what's doing it.
Yeah, he does have the biggest jersey in the tournament, bar none. That can be confirmed. Rylan Connors up top for Simonson. Connors is going to play. He's probably played 3 minutes already this quarter, trying to go around the world there. Bounces back to low. Opposite change for a defender. Swim move there. Benko. He scored a couple beauties already in the game. Why not make it 3 here? Put him on hat-trick watch. Victoria slows it down up top. Happy to use the shot clock here. It's not run time this period, in case anyone is wondering. Down low feed. Hawken Clayton to the net. Stopped by Martel.
Hawken just took a bit of a high hit there from somebody. I think that was Simonson, but no penalty on that play.
Brown took like 3 hits and stayed on his feet. Couldn't scoop up the loose ball though. Panchot. Sneaks by Thiessen. A little fake handoff there for Steele. Ends up in the pocket of Mikulik. Shots on goal 39-30 in favor of Mountain View.
Stick just broke, trying to knock it out of the stick of Sinclair.
Reese Walsh, the stick just disintegrated. Now a big step down by Bombing. Pushes the net back a couple inches. Braden Sinclair again. 21-year-old. Little pick and pop inside. Mikulik makes him pay. Number 4 on the game for Carter Mikulik.
Mikulik finding a new place to score compared to his other 3 as he's going to cut across Martel and tuck it in short side.
Things kind of fell apart defensively with the broken stick there, but across the floor, looks like we're getting a goalie change. Alex Swan is officially out. Well, second time he's out. Maybe it's just a psych again, but Brady Evanson is going in.
Well, Swan is actually sitting this time and taking off his helmet, so I don't think they're trying to fool us this time, Cody.
I've been fooled before. We'll play this one out, though. Less than 14 to go now in regulation. Again, Mountain View has punched their ticket. They will be in the gold medal game on Monday. Larry Bishop Memorial Cup Championship. That is at 2 o'clock right here at the JRC. Of course, if you can make it down, why not? It's a holiday weekend. Most of you are lying if you're saying you've got to take work off. You can be here Monday at 2. Tomorrow's the semifinals as well. It'll be Fort Saskatchewan Rebels and the Calgary Shamrocks. 2 bells right here in this building. Bombing inside. Denied by Martel. Nickel. I have an opportunity for a breakaway. Jack Nickel, low shot, save made behind the play. A cross check is going to get called.
As on the play, Amundsen absolutely blew up Nickel as well. Right as the whistle blew on that penalty behind.
So Teague Brown is going to the sin bin. Cross-checking is the call.
It's the floor wipe crew doing their work, having their work cut out for them all weekend long.
There's only 3 of them. Last night, I swear there was like 9 of them buzzing around out there.
I swear just in the second period, there was like 6 of them, so I don't know what happened to the other half.
And it is very humid in the building. Back-to-back days of plus 30 in here. Someone said it feels like Florida yesterday, and I truly agree with them.
Yeah, I don't think they were wrong about that one. As we're now in, 9:52 local time, and they actually have all of the doors open here in the JRC, just trying to air it out a little bit, and man, it's not doing too much, unfortunately. Maybe it's just because we're not in front of a door. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, we're close enough. I don't know. We can get some fans, a dehumidifier, AC. If they want suggestions, reach out to me. I think we can fix this place.
I think Hayden Bolsgaard last night on the broadcast said they should have saved some of the renovation money for AC. I don't think he was wrong on that one, I'll be honest.
Hard to disagree with that. Well, Mountainview going back to the power play. First opportunity of the period. So far in the game, though, they are 3 for 5. 60%. Good in lacrosse, not good in grade 7. Mikulak's up top. Step down. Martel makes the save. Knocks Despins. Breaking ankles. Despins now to the net. Couldn't get a good shot off there, as he only got one hand on his stick.
Trying to bounce it close side on Evanson, and Evanson was just there to meet it.
It's a good back check. A couple of Mavericks were not letting them have an easy breakaway despite being up by 9. Mikulak up top. Top unit still on the floor. Bombing. Mikulak. Low shot. Martel makes a save.
Mikulak has the 3 from that spot on the floor. Martel so far shutting the door to any more.
Thiessen finds Dylan Pook. Rebels have one short-handed goal this weekend. Came off the stick of Reed Lowe. That's who that pass was intended for. Ball's going to bounce into the corner. Rylan Walsh is down there. New stick in hand after disintegrating his old one.
Yeah, and that I think is actually the second or third stick I've seen this weekend do that. I don't know what it is with the integrity. Maybe it's the humidity that's breaking these sticks.
No, it's just the amount of lacrosse. These sticks usually get used 4 times a week max. They're getting used 4 times in 24 hours. Bombing doesn't let it fly. Clayton for Victoria. Trying to bounce it far side. Ends up in the corner instead. Calix Simonson had a goal and 6 assists in the Rebels North Final Series win over the St. Albert Crew. Now Teague Brown got his stick up high on a defender. Cale Owens getting into it behind the play also. Gloves seem to be staying on for now. Always keep an eye to see if there's 4 pieces of leather on the ground.
Referee getting in the middle before that gets out of hand.
Ooh, Despins beat by a swim move, cutting inside. Benko, who we should not be surprised that was Jordan Benko, just pulling off another ridiculous swim move.
Looked like the ball fell out of his stick at a moment, and he almost swung at it like it was like a golf ball or something like that to try and send it past Martel.
Decent. Taking a couple of healthy whacks. Well, you see the slashes and the picks get set a little bit harder as this game goes along. You know, there's a chance these two teams meet up in about 48 hours, and that could be for a championship trophy potentially. Mikla. Walsh will defend Bosworth. Martel. Easy stop as it hits him in the shoulder. Halfway through this third period, Mountainview up 11-2. A little bit of molasses on the floor here as both these teams know this game is essentially meaningless outside of your round robin record.
The writing's essentially on the wall here inside the JRC for the Rebels.
Low to Brown. Brown down the middle, he scores! Teague Brown.
The Mavericks are also going to take a penalty after that goal too. As Simonson actually called for the ball. I think that may have been Brown's first something.
Well, the bench is quite happy about that one. Teague Brown has his first, and the Rebels are also going to the power play.
Hildebrand, he's going to sit for 2 in the sin bin, now in the back half of the third.
Fort Saskatchewan sitting at 40% on the power play today. Calix Simonson. Aaron pass sends up with Jackson Baker. Baker, short side. Save is made by Evanson.
Yeah, Evanson, it looked like he had to work a little bit for that stop through some traffic.
He's a veteran backup too. We talk about it in this tournament. You need multiple goaltenders who can play. The Shamrocks have Misek Bjarnason. Fort Saskatchewan has McLeod and Carpenter. Martel's doing just fine as a rookie, playing in the third string role here as well. And Mountain View has it as well. Evanson and Swan. Bouncer by Sinclair catches the chest protector of Martel, heads up to the ceiling. And that'll take us to a goalie water break with just under 9 minutes to go in the third.
Rebels trailing by 8 at the moment. 11-3 is where that score clock sits, as you said. And you know, I'm curious where the Rebels go from here ending this game. You know, do you continue to try and, you know, gain some momentum heading into tomorrow's semifinal, or do you kind of let your foot off the gas a little bit and maybe rest up a little bit coming down the stretch?
Yeah, it all depends on your mentality, right? I think, you know, if you want to be the Florida Panthers, you're going for a pound of flesh. And if you want to try pile it on and make the score seem respectable on the scoreboard, well, then you better get the offense clicking. You still have a power play opportunity here for the next 75 seconds, but you kind of got to do something about it, right? They haven't scored on their last 2 power plays, staring down 0-3 here on their last 3. Another wipe of the floor as that becomes a consistent need in this building.
Almost looks like that was 2 different floor wipers than the last time that they were out here.
It's just a rotation. They're probably overheating. They're probably going outside and grabbing some ice packs. Hudson Scrimshaw playing some tight defense on Sinclair. Scrimshaw now knocks the stick out of his hands. Ball comes free as well. Ryland Walsh is in there, grabs a hold of it.
Despens and Bowman behind the play were kind of giving each other the business a little bit. Looked like maybe they were looking to drop the gloves, but nothing really transpired from that.
Well, if you came to Fort Saskatchewan to make friends, you're probably in the wrong spot. Baker up top to Low. Larry Bishop Memorial Cup on the line this long weekend. Reed Low tries to put it on the second floor. Little floater above the head of Brendan Harnick. Connors Lacrosse runs behind the net. Rebels still have 20 seconds left on this power play. Calix Simonson's there. Backdoor feed, Reed Lowe awaits, trying to go short side, good save by Evanson. Seals off that near pipe. Connors now. For Baker. Back to Lowe, quick stick, Calix Simonson. Good save by Evanson that time.
Yeah, and Lowe and Simonson like to stay down low there in that spot. As the ball actually went up and hit the netting, but the referee didn't call that down.
What do they say? Hell in the cell, cage rules, what do you call it? Everything's in play. I think we could go with that. 7 minutes left to go here in the third. It's an 8-goal game, and the Rebels are hanging a forward high in Calix Simonson. Bounce shot. Rings red.
Beats Martel, but not the iron.
Teague Brown, goal scorer, Teague Brown, I will mention. Up top for Dylan Pook, they'll tell him to stay and play. Why not? He's one of the 2 goal scorers on the team this game. Calix Simonson, big wind up. Clocks a defender.
I think that may have hit Amundsen up high.
Yeah, Amundsen's the one who has it. Fixes his cage there. Are those shoes pink or coral? I'm trying to see. They're sharp. I like them.
Mo Joma says that they're bright pink, and he says that Amundsen deserves player of the game every game for those type of shoes.
I like it. Have some good shoe game. I'm not a fan of like the weird colored gloves. Shoes, fill your boots. I love that. Mikluck up top. Big wind up. Good save by Martel.
Want to talk about fancy shoes? Look at Rylan Connors, bright red with the Rebels uniform. It looks kind of snazzy, actually.
3-on-2, they've got numbers. Connors over to Baker. Baker, little fake, and he tried to shoot it himself instead of pass it to Low back door.
Went off the hand of Hildebrand.
Does not feel good.
Shaking it in anguish a little bit there.
Nickel hits Reed Lowe with the dime. Put it on a frozen rope. The Lakeland kip sets up Reed Lowe, and the Rebels have 4.
What a rocket of a shot right after getting that in the stick. Had no room to even test the waters. He was just going to fire that one and hope it stuck, and stuck it did.
11-4 now with 5:35 left to go. In case you missed it, semifinals are all but set for tomorrow. It'll be Fort Saskatchewan and the Calgary Shamrocks doing battle at 2 o'clock. Then on Monday, the Mountainview Mavericks await the winner of that game. Knox Despin's in transition. Evanson got a piece of it. Owen over to Pook. Low bouncer, scooped up by the Mavs netminder.
You know, I just realized on that last play that I believe it's Scrimshaw. He's actually using a classic wooden stick, too. He doesn't have that, you know, polyethylene or whatever it is that the sticks are made of nowadays.
Yeah, he's been using the traditional woody all period. And so Rylan Walsh used it for a shift, took a penalty, and I think they took it out of his hands. Said, yeah, we can't be doing this all the time.
Might cause a couple splinters.
Mikluck now. Shot got soaked by the defender, and now we're getting another wipe of the floor. What if we just gave the goaltender a towel and they just wiped the floor when the ball went the other way? There's got to be a better solution to this.
Better yet, instead, let's make
okay,
the
here's
bottom.
a better solution. Just get turf. But
well, that works too.
That's an expensive solution, and we can't even get AC in this place.
Here's the solution: is that you take the goaltender stick, and on the long side you put on like a mop head there, so that they can still use it as a stick, but then they can just use it as a mop if they need to.
Yeah, maybe we just give like the third referee a mop behind the play. We would probably shave 5 minutes off each game, if not more.
If that third referee has a mop in his hand, though, how many players do you think mistake it for a stick and try and pass to him?
If you're doing that, that's on yourself. Okay, we're less than 5 to go here. Floor is clean for the next 30 seconds at least, we hope. Jelivet over the restraining line. Good defensive switch right there. Hard pick behind the play by Cale Owen. Knocked down his defender. Reed Lowe, little toe drag inside, one arm flips it up. Jelivet's got to climb the ladder to come down with it though. Lowe again, pardon me, that's Owen. Owen inside move. Collided a little high. I think they're gonna say it's all right though. Back the other way goes Ethan Hildebrand. Good to see Hildebrand out there because that shot he blocked with his hands did not look fun.
I'm still feeling it.
Pass by Bauman, got picked off by Calix Simonson. Dylan Pook now. One-on-one with Harnick. Simonson looking to evade a defender. Finds Jolivet. 10 on the shot clock. Inside, heavy hit on Reed Lowe. 5 on the shot clock. Jolivet has it again. Trying to feed Lowe. Defender took another run at him though. Reese Walsh touched it in the crease.
For a guy whose last name is Lowe, he sure has taken a lot of high hits.
Yeah, he's not afraid to go to the dirty areas. Got to give him credit for that. Hudson Scrimshaw. Ball on the stick, Bosmore. Sinclair now on the roll. Bounces this one off the end boards, and it's going to go over towards the players' benches.
That actually ended up in the Mavericks bench there.
Just slows it down, lets them get 5 fresh legs out there on defense. Jolivet up top for Simonson. 4 lefties out there as Tig Brown is getting another opportunity. Jolivet got taken down, and they are all sorts of tangled up, him and Andrew Murray. Mavericks defense is suffocating. I know everyone talks about it, but when you watch them in person, this is a team that could be going for the Founders Cup in a few weeks' time down in Calgary. Victoria trying to go 5-0 on Martel. Now behind the play, I believe that's Bombing. Ended up taking down Despens.
Yeah, he knocked him down right in the numbers. We can give him 2 minutes for interference here.
Rebels back to the power play. 7th time in the game. They've got 2 goals on the man advantage, both out of Calix Simonson, who will get the ball up top. They were about to call for another floor wipe, and now they're just getting the shoe mop action in down there.
I was about to ask, does that
They must be
referee have a
listening.
towel?
Oh, I thought, no, they're going to call in the crew. I thought they were listening to the broadcast, and they were like, maybe these guys know what they're talking about.
You jinxed it, Cody. You jinxed it.
That's definitely on me. What a game, though. And again, we talk about Mountain View's dominance throughout the entire tournament. This is a team that's starting to flex their muscles on the Junior B system.
Yeah, and the Mavericks now, their 2nd trip in as many years here to the Larry Bishop Memorial Cup. And at this rate, the way that they've been playing over the last couple of years, I think they could be one of the new mainstays here in the tournament.
Feels like each division kind of has that team that's a step above the rest.
Yeah.
I mean, out east, it used to be the Blizz. Now it seems like it's sort of Regina's turn with the way that Queen City program, and then tip your hat to Dave Lenz. I mean, a heartbreaking loss against the Shamrocks right before this one. A crazy battle with the Crude yesterday. Yeah, the game against Mountain View didn't exactly go their way, and then it was an awesome battle with Fort Sask. Like, they're playing with the best. Down south, obviously, it's Calgary Shamrocks. That's, you know, if you're not wearing a Lucky Clover, you know, you're probably not atop the South Division. Central, Red Deer, like pre-COVID, was really good, and now Trey Christensen's taken over this Mavs team. And you look at the likes he also adds on the bench as well. Elijah Johansson, Wally Gens, I mean, Klessens. There's so many people that have helped him out here. Looks like in the stance, things are getting a little bit heated up there.
Yeah, referees are asking security to throw out some people over on the other side of the stands here.
Well, it looks like the hands are getting thrown in the crowd and not so much on the floor. Refs are going to talk about, that's old school Fort Saskatchewan, though. I remember a time where a Crude Rebels series wasn't a series unless there was a fan fight per game. Not that I'm endorsing it. I'm just telling you what happens. I call it as I see it.
Be careful, Cody. You're almost treading the waters of back in my day.
Calix Simonson. Not going to age myself. Not 40 yet. Calix Simonson down low, quick stick, Pooks, Yorks. Power play marker for Dylan Pook.
Dylan Pook is like that spot over this tournament, sitting down low just to tuck it in. Finds its way past Evanson. Pulls the Rebels up another one. Now this time trailing by 6.
Even strength, 5-on-5 it is. The Rebels are now 3 for 7 on the power play. I don't think it's gonna get too dicey out here with 2 minutes left to go, but
as you say that, there's been a shot there that Scrimshaw's given the guy here.
Scrimshaw's gonna take one as Brendan Harnick went for a tumble.
Scrimshaw just threw another shot at Liam Steele this time too.
Now you wonder if you're the Mavs, do you want your top forwards out there at this moment?
Well, with 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes left in this game, at this rate, I'd probably let my top guys rest for as long as I can, get them prepared for Monday's final.
Yeah, if I'm the coach, it's 2 words I'm saying to that. The first word I won't say, the second word is no. But they're going to throw their top guys out there and let them rag it around a little bit. Couple of hard picks getting set. Andrew Murray, D guy out there for one reason only, and now the Rebels will start to give him the business as he was going out there with the intentions of setting the hard pick. Long shot, Martel makes the save.
Dying minutes now starting to get a little bit chippy in here. In both the crowd and on the floor.
It's the junior beast. And that's not even on the beer garden side. I don't know what type of fun juice they got rocking. That's the family section.
I want some of whatever they're having.
Rylan Walsh trying to spin through a double team. Rock ends up on the concrete. He'll bat it down, still battling through. Ends up taking one to the ground.
And now we're going to have some guys starting to get in each other's faces.
I believe that's Kai Kloss and Rylan Walsh.
Believe so, as Walsh is trying to pull him out from the referee's grip there, and they're going to throw Walsh out now. With 1:08 to go.
First to the showers. Well, not first, I guess. Ashton Johnson got sent. Second to the showers. Means you're not waiting for anyone. Nice dressing rooms here. For those who haven't seen, the JRC went through major renovations, and the dressing room side of this and the lobby, unbelievable. I mean, when you think about, well, the Mountainview probably not that impressed. They got a junior, oh no, they're in Innisfil now. I was thinking Olds. Hey, the Eagles dressing room in Innisfil is awesome. And I believe that's what the Mavs used to. So they got a great setup, but the Rebels' new dressing room is awesome also. Mavs probably happy to rag this one around for a bit. Still in the power play for 51 of the remaining minutes. Miklik up top.
Yeah, no real point in forcing anything here. And now a couple other guys giving each other the business.
Pancho and Walsh.
And now
continue.
Maybe something's going to come here.
Mavs are still holding on to it. Long shot catches the outside of the post. It's going to bounce all the way back to Harnick. He lets this one roll, and he'll kill the rest of the clock.
Yeah, no point in forcing anything. Everybody knows what the result of this game is going to be in the end here.
Well, the Mavs with this win will go to 4-0. Fort Saskatchewan falls to 2-2. They'll play in the semifinals tomorrow at 2 o'clock against the Calgary Shamrocks. But on Saturday, it's gold. The Mavericks undefeated through round robin at the Larry Bishop Memorial Cup.
The only team this year to go undefeated. Shamrocks going to finish this Larry Bishop at 3-1. Rebels and Kings 2-2, and the Rebels getting in by way of, I believe, goal differential, if I'm not mistaken. And then the Kings going to be sent packing back to Regina a bit early, and the CROW ending the...
Rebels had head-to-head against the Kings. They beat them yesterday.
Head-to-head, okay. I wasn't sure if it was goal differential or head-to-head. And the CROW and the Larry Bishop 0-4 in their first ever berth.
Well, it looks like things have finally calmed down in the stands and on the floor as well. I mean, credit to Trey Christensen and company. They took over that organization, and they have turned them into an absolute wagon.
And what a crazy turn for the Mavericks. Coming off of last year, you lose in the Larry Bishop final to the Winnipeg Blizzard. You end up going to the Founders anyway, since Alberta does need to send a rep. And now this year they go 4-0 in the round robin, get an automatic berth into the final. And that is a Mavericks team that, again, I think we're going to see here for quite a few years to come.
Handshakes upcoming, and then we'll get you to the Jackson Porter Player of the Game, sponsored by Cyclone Environmental Services. I don't plan on making any predictions on this one, but at the end of the day, I think the 11-5 score flatters Fort Saskatchewan. I know they're missing a bunch of big guns. So is Mountain View. Mountain View is going to be even better on Monday if you have to face them in the finals after a day of rest. That's going to be a team that is already running at top speed and playing their best lacrosse of the year. They're going to be flying even further.
And quite honestly, I think this is one of the greatest semifinal final matchups that we've had in a long time.
The only issue is that Calgary already has an auto bid.
Yes.
So that kind of ruins the fun of it. And so if it would have been Rebels and Mavs in the semis for a chance to go, I mean, maybe it ends up that they're in the finals for a chance to go to the Founders. That's awesome. But the auto bids do ruin some of the fun of this tournament. Not to be that guy, but to be that guy. Let's be real.
I mean, they do a little bit, but at the same time, I mean, you're playing in a Best of Alberta tournament, regardless of, the
Best of
auto
Alberta
berths
plus Saskatchewan and Manitoba.
Well, yes, I mean, there is that too. Regardless of the berths, I mean, you still want to have those bragging rights in the end, regardless if you do have an auto berth into the Founders Cup or not. So Mavericks celebrating with their fans now.
I think we're just waiting for player of the game announcements. I believe that's Elijah Johansson and Trey Christensen making the call as they hand it over to Commissioner Stewart here, who will relay the message. I think the Rebels are 3 for 3 on D, guys, getting the award so far. And,
yeah, I believe so.
Based on the way they only scored 5 today, kind of wouldn't be surprised if it's another D guy.
Absolutely.
Now they're going to need the official answer from Darren Beret now.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Jackson Porter Player of the Game, sponsored by Cyclone Environmental Services. For the Northern Construction Rebels, number 2017, CROW.
4 for 4 on the defensive choices. T. Brown did score in this one as well. Not surprised. Honestly, he's been good this tournament. That's a guy who I don't think too many people know the name. But he's come in and played a pretty good role for Fort Saskatchewan. He's got the big one tomorrow.
For the Mountainview Mavericks, number 20, Carter Mitchell.
Yeah, Mitchell was fantastic today. 4 goals, 2 of them on the power play. Really quarterbacks that top unit as well. No surprise, he's the Jackson Porter Player of the Game, sponsored by Cyclone Environmental Services. Final score in this one, 11-5. The Mountain View Mavericks 4-0. They punch their ticket to Monday, Fort Saskatchewan, Calgary, 2 o'clock tomorrow. Semifinals. A ticket is on the line to the championship. For myself, Cody Jansen, Keenan, everyone else helping make this production possible. Tristan and Gabby, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great night.